Today on Logan Lee Adventures, we're flying out to what Nora Mailer states as the Great American City, which is Chicago. This is a city that I've been wanting to explore for over a decade now. And of course, it took me moving off this continent to finally be able to come back to uncover it. The images of Chi-Town, aka Chicago, speaks for itself. From deep dish pizzas, sweeping views of Lake Michigan, architecture that shakes up the world, and famous Midwestern hospitality. Hop on board to experience the grand old US metropolis with us. Check out the cool Fin Air business class lounge with me. I mean, I love the design already. I love everything, the space and just the different seating areas and the different twists on the finish, different cuisine, and I am like sensory overload here in the best of ways. I love that the Finnish Air Business Class Lounge has these private showers that anyone can book for half an hour. It's literally easy. You just saw me doing it. I just tap on the screen outside and then you can take a shower to refresh in between flights, your next flight. Okay, I'm definitely going to shave. Oh, yes, I need a little shaving kit. Contrary to popular belief, I do shave daily, but sometimes I miss out on it, so I need to do a little of this, just freshen up, you know? The shower is so nice too. Ready for Chicago? Here we go. Off onto the metro to the city. Chicago, we have arrived. Going into the heart of the loop now. First I have to get out my car. I feel full actually. First impression of Chicago already is such a beautiful city. Look at this. So we're walking from the metro to our hotel. We're going to check in, drop off our bags, and then head to dinner because it's already sunset time, as you can see, and our hotel is like 5 minutes from here, so we're close by. But I'm slowing down the whole process because I'm just amazed at all these skyscrapers and just how cool the architecture is here. We made it! Heart of Chicago in the loop. And I'm kind of a little jet lagged, so is your food. But we're dedicated to go out for dinner because we're like, okay, we're here, we're so excited, we really need some munch on. So we're dropping our bags off here. This bed is really tempting to sink in, but no, we're gonna go out and explore this great windy city. what?
Nice view.
Yeah. Y'all, I am here at Pizzeria Uno, which is a historical landmark and quite frankly, legendary, just not even within Chicago, but beyond the city's borders. Look, Pizzeria Uno. So this is where E.K. Sewell invented the deep dish pizza. Back in 1943 at Pizzeria Uno, in this spot, in this location, this building right here, the original deep dish pizza was invented. And now, of course, we cannot go to Chicago without eating deep dish pizza. And this will be our first time, so let's check it out. I'm so excited. I'm so stoked. We're sitting in such a cozy booth. This right there, initials here. Actually, it feels like half a bit of like a pub here, but there's a bar right there, and then the restaurant itself. It's super cozy in here. I cannot believe this exact location, like I said, is where the deep dish pizza was created and is still living on to this day. In Chicago, eating pizza is a dining experience, not just a snack. But it wasn't always that way in the US. Now, E.K. Sewell changed things back in 1943 when he invented deep dish pizza. Some folks call it Chicago pizza, and E.K. figured that if you combine some of Italy's old authentic recipes with units of the finest quality meats, spices, veggies, and cheeses, then pizza would become a hearty meal, just like how Americans, me, love it. Alright, the original deep dish pizza, right here at Pizzeria Uno. Ooh, I was just telling you, Runa, these are my favorite toppings growing up on a regular pizza growing up in Canada. So we have like peppers, mushroom, tomatoes, pepperoni, tomato sauce. Let's see how it tastes like in a deep dish. Delicious. So eating that felt like a true religious experience and was the right meal to knock us out. Now, I'm on a mission to try as many deep dish places in Chinatown as I can throughout my trip here. But before that, we went to sleep and woke up to our first official full day in Chicago. Morning from Chicago, y'all. So as you can see, we're ready. We're up and early for sunrise at Millennium Park. This is Cloud Gate, the most iconic symbol, I would say, of Chicago. These are always iconic to me. Growing up in Toronto, Chicago really reminds me of Toronto, but I always see this little flicking bean little bean sculpture, and is always so iconic to me. I can't believe I'm here at sunrise to kickstart our Chicago adventures with all of y'all. So come along, come explore this wonderful, windy and beautifully architectural city. Look at all these buildings that surrounds this, and they planned it out so well because it's just such a magnificent view over here. Yeah, I'll wear it like a hat. There. Can we also do a shout out to how beautiful Millennium Park is this time of the year in autumn with all of these trees? How bright and red they are. This is like picture perfect autumn, especially with this light. This gorgeous morning light can live in this hour forever. Apparently, until the late 1990s, this patch of prime real estate was little more than railway tracks and car parks in Chicago. I mean, I can't even imagine that. But all that changed when the mayor, Richard M. Daley, who supposedly got tired of looking over this unsightly plot from his dentist on Michigan Avenue, thank freaking goodness, proposed a visionary new public space. And today, it's really freaking hard to imagine the city without Millennium Park. Being inside the bean, aka the cloud gate, is just as trippy as one would think from looking out of it. You know, autumn is my favorite season, period. And the fact that I get to be here, exploring, traveling, showing y'all all around Chicago while discovering the city for myself as well during my favorite season is just spectacular because I cannot get over this. This is just so grand. All the foliage happening all around this friggin' city at this time of the year is just so stupidly beautiful that I cannot like wrap my head around. And all these, and you know me, like I am obsessed with architecture, so seeing all these beautiful pieces is just mind-blowing to me here. Like everything is like mind-blowing. And you can see how highlights here include the dynamic steel ribbons of the Frank Gehry's J. Pritzker Pavilion, and then there's also the rambling gardens designed by Dutch superstar Piet Oudolf, and of course the signature attraction which we are already obsessed with by Anish Kapoor's the endearingly popular Cloud Gate, aka the bean, which he hates being called that, but you know. And why not like have this space open to the public and renovate it like this? I just cannot imagine this not being part of Chicago's DNA. Gosh, it is really the windy city here. I'm like holding on to my hat because it's being blown away this morning. But I mean, that's the full experience of Chicago, right? Windy city. We're now at Lincoln Park Zoo, which to my amazement is completely free. So it's a city zoo in Lincoln Park, so it's huge and the whole zoo is free, so you can just come stroll right in, and it's all autumn and they have decor everywhere for the season. Look at this little pumpkin patch over here. One thing that I did not expect about the Lincoln Park Zoo is how big it is. There's so many buildings. This is the building for the primates. There's like a lion building, there's a reptile building, and then of course there's like all the zoos outside that you can explore too. So there's a lot to see here. Founded in 1868, Lincoln Park Zoo is amongst the most established zoos in the US of A. It's also known as Lincoln Park Zoological Gardens, and it spreads across 35 freaking acres. So what I find so freaking impressive is that this whole place is free to visit and roam around for anybody. I can't think of many places in North America or even around the world for that matter that has this much free grounds for the public. The zoo is home to a wide variety of animals, and it has like exhibits includes big cats, polar bears, penguins, gorillas, reptiles, monkeys, and other species, literally totaling around about 1,100 animals from some 200 species. Which, I mean, you don't even need to go on a safari. This is the safari. There's a natural boardwalk here that you can walk around this kind of like pond that has beautiful view of the city skyline, and then there's also the seal pool to visit, the planetarium, an Arctic tundra exhibit, a penguin cove, reptile house, and so many bird houses, and a waterfowl lagoon, a swan pond, and just so many impressive buildings that are super beautiful, housing all of these animals. After the zoo, we wandered out into the surrounding neighborhood to explore even more of Chicago. Walking around the Lincoln Park neighborhood, this is my American dream, y'all. These houses right here, this street in particular, with all the beautiful red brick houses, this is what I aspire to be if I ever lived in the US of A. All along the street, the neighbors have decorated their front porches so beautifully with everything ready for Halloween and the season. I am living. Like, it's just so stunning here. I feel like I'm wandering around a Hallmark movie set place in autumn. We're exploring the Lincoln Park Conservatory right now, and it is gorgeous. It's basically a gigantic greenhouse, as you can see, and it's like holding all these ecosystems in here. Basically a botanical garden, I would say, with beautiful different flora and fauna all around. And it's warm for an autumn day. As a father to many houseplants, I am obsessed here. Like, all these plants are thriving. So zen peaceful in here. I can't believe that this is free. It's just such a joy to walk around here and then be greeted with these giant plants. Some of them I recognize because either I've been having an eye on them because I want them to have at home. Others I have at home, and others I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I've never even seen this type of species before. And everything is just so like all pieced together in harmony here.
Oh, hey.
Thank you.
Yeah, come in.
Look how cute this is. Like the octopus, the sushi platter here. Oops. Can't wait to dig in. There's so many things to try out here. Okay, let's see.
Actually, I'm going to be traveling from Chicago right now on a train back home. So, what time will she be able to?
The Navy Pier is actually an actual building and area. I thought it was just an area, but here we are at the Navy Pier, which is basically the harbor lakeshore front of Chicago. Well, one of the many lakeshore fronts, since this whole city is like built on a lakeshore front. Navy Pier is a 3,300 foot long pier on the shoreline of Lake Michigan, located in the Streetserville neighborhood of the near North Side community area in Chicago. Now, this place was a tribute to the Navy personnel who were housed at the pier during World War I. 50 years later, Navy Pier was designated as a Chicago landmark, positioning the pier as an unforgettable destination that it is today. So, from already more than a century of constant use, the Navy Pier has served the city of Chicago in numerous and quite different ways, mostly now as a recreation and entertainment spot as we wander around, but it was also part of a university, a naval base, an army base, a convention center, as well as a food storage facility. Part of Chicago, River North, which is right downtown in the Loop. It's just so fantastic how they adapted this European style open terrace where they closed down the street. It's kind of like a pedestrian friendly walk. I'm not sure if this is just like between certain hours or just the weekends, but I love it. Now, me and Jeroen can't go to any state without trying the local fast food joint. Now, can we? And here in Chicago, Epic Burger apparently is the local Chicago, or originate from Chicago. So, since it's autumn, I have to try the seasonal specialty, which is their apple caramel, I think apple cinnamon caramel milkshake. It looks so good. It smells so good. It tastes so good. It's like an apple pumpkin pie had a baby, and then that baby is now dancing in my mouth. I'm at this bookstore that's actually just around the corner from my hotel, and it's called Afterwards, and it's pretty cool. It's huge. It's like This is actually the basement floor. There's another top floor, and afterwards, new books are mixed in with pre-loved used books. So kind of just like dig around. The new books is marked with like a little pink sticker, and it's really nice way to just adventure, explore the different shelves around here, what they have. Ooh, I already know, I didn't even plan this, but the travel section is right here, so I'm gonna dig through these books. I shouldn't buy more books on my holidays because I keep buying books on holidays, especially in the US with US covers, which I mostly prefer over UK covers. If you know, you know. We can talk all about it. I can make a whole vlog on it, but that leaves me with just packing and buying so many books and bring it all the way back to the Netherlands, which is not great for luggage space. So, but I can't help myself, especially in wonderful bookstores, especially a place like this that just feels the characteristic of Chicago. Check it. I am walking down Magnificent Mile of Chicago. This is such a famed legendary strip of Chicago. It's like the Fifth Avenue equivalent of the city. I mean, I hate comparing, but come on, all of these old world, old money, luxury, high-end stores stacked one after another up and down this wonderful strip of Michigan Avenue. It basically has everything you want for luxury, and it is gorgeous and beautiful to discover and explore here. That is the Starbucks Roastery Reserve, which we'll be checking right out. Simply look at all those floors just for Starbucks. I'm here at the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, the biggest coffee shop in the whole world. We're not even talking about the biggest Starbucks with a chill fireplace. We're talking about the hugest coffee shop in the whole entire world. And look how beautiful the design is. It's part art, it's part experience to give you the whole journey of the coffee craft. Okay, let's go up these cool escalators, winding up the roastery. This place is huge. There's literally 5 floors of different experience for just for Starbucks. Oh. It smells so good in here. You can also see them baking away in this open concept bakery they have here. And look at this. Gosh, that's not just for display, guys. That is literally real rotating croissants ready. Like they're just like about to be put on for sale. Like, ooh, look at that bread too. Oh my goodness. I'm fanboying, geeking out here. I mean, come on. I am North American after all. And growing up in Toronto, before I got really into different cafe hopping, Starbucks was my go-to, as well with friends. I love that. Look at this open bakery. They even have Vietnamese coffee here from Đà Lạt. As you can see, different floors have different experiences. So we're on the 3rd floor right now, and it's experimental coffee bar. And then there's a roof terrace all the way on the 5th floor. There's a cocktail bar on the 4th floor. On the 2nd floor is the bakery that we saw. And on the 1st floor is the Reserve Coffee Bar. So each floor, all different experiences here. This is the roof terrace of the Starbucks Reserve Roastery with incredible views of the magnificent mile and all these buildings. That one is really tall. Let's take a peek over down the street. Oh, look at that. And all the foliage of the trees as well. I don't care if I'm a basic B with autumn because I'm obsessed. Look at these, look how big these pumpkins are. This is, I don't even know, this is my head. Okay, is this an accurate representation? My head size, the pumpkin size. Like, and they're just all decorated up and down Magnificent Mile. This is why it's called Magnificent Mile. This is so beautiful here. Now you know the Magnificent Mile is fancy when this right here is a historical water tower. Casual, right? Like, let's just build this grand tower, just so beautiful for water. Let's go up close and check it out because I love the details of it. Inside the historical water tower, it's actually a city gallery, so that's pretty cool that there's like art, there's outdoor spaces, there's a little blend of everything here in Chicago to explore. Like, you think that one building may hold something, which used to be a historical water tower and it still is, but it no longer holds water. It's just refurbished, refashioned into art. Walking around Chicago, I just realized that it's one of the most pedestrian-friendly cities in the US because, okay, we have New York, we have Chicago, but I wouldn't say other big cities, maybe in smaller neighborhoods, but not many big cities are so pedestrian-friendly with walkable sidewalks and like public transit that supports everybody, right? Like the public. And that's what I really noticed about the quality of the sidewalks here in this city is like you can walk from one end of Chicago to the other, like you have time, but I easily do 20,000 steps in this city because it's so effortless. Like the sidewalks are wide and open and they don't just end randomly, which some sidewalks in America is like that, but it's really I love that feature of Chicago. Now, just a block from the Magnificent Mile are very beautiful churches to check out as well if you're an architecture lover. So this is St. James Cathedral, and then we also have the Holy Name Cathedral just around the corner too. This is a city that you can see so effortlessly the interwovenness of old and new and the respect between the two. Continuing our exploration of the churches around Magnificent Mile, this is the 4th Presbyterian church. That's just the name. Maybe there's a 3rd, a 2nd, a 1st, but I haven't discovered them yet. But this church is beautiful. It actually really reminds me of my university, Western University, not Northwestern, Western University in Canada, with its Gothic surroundings and architecture, and this courtyard is gorgeous. It's just so peaceful here, and it's smack middle of the Magnificent Mile, so it's really such a peaceful and serene escape from the city to just come here and enjoy the chirpings of the birds. Friends, this is a true honey, I'm home moment. Okay, let's go in. You know how much I love Ralph Lauren. I'm so excited to check out this store. This store meets all my expectations. The store is set up like a labyrinth, so you can't help but wander from one room into the next room. If I could live in this store, I would. You know those stories like Eloise at the plaza? Well, this is my story of Logan at Ralph Lauren. Every little attention to detail is to the nines here, from entering a gallery of rooms accented with dark mahogany, gilded antiques, paintings, and oriental rugs where a grand staircase leads to a second and third floors. It's literally 37,000 square footage that makes this store the brand's biggest in the whole friggin' world. The building was previously occupied by First Chicago Bank, but today the luxurious space gives me a full immersion into my favorite brand in its whole entirety. Simply, I want to see it all, do it all, be everywhere and everything, all in this city, Chicago. The city at night is even more gorgeous with all the lights lit up. From this bridge, you just stare out into Chicago and you just can't help but just dream. We're going to end tonight in Chicago with Art at the Mart. So Art at the Mart this is the Mart right here. It stands for the Merchandise Mart, which is one of the biggest commercial buildings in Chicago. It opened back in 1930. So you can see how historical it is. And Art at the Mart, well, we're gonna let the show you itself what it's all about. And as usual, as we end the night, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, leave a comment below what's your favorite part of Chicago so far. But we have more Chicago coming right up for you. You know the city, we're not finished with the Windy City yet. But for now, Art at the Mart.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation of Art on the Mart. Our program will begin in a few moments.